you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Put some respect on my name.
First and foremost, my numbers are better than 15, 16 or so guys that are currently in the Hall.
Here's the handoff to Taylor, looking for some cut back. He finds some room, looking at Fred go. He's across the 30, look at him run. Fred's going. He's at the 50, the 40.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
20, 10, 5, touchdown. 80 yards, Fred Taylor.
Talking modern day guys at my position.
When my name come up, respect it. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna right on it.
And here's the handoff to Fred, looking for the cutback. He's got room on the middle 10. Fred's there. He's at the 20. Fred's on the run to the 25 to the 30. He's going 40. Fred 50. Fred 40. Fred 30. Fred 25, 20.
Y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
You look at the guys that are in the Hall of Fame from a defensive standpoint. Ray Lewis, Derrick Brooks. Look at all these other guys they're trying to put in the Hall of Fame.
Gerard on the give. Here's Taylor.
Put some respect on
Busting
my name.
through. Fred Taylor making a cut. Taylor is gone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
These the same dudes that I murked every Sunday.
When my name come up, respect it. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna right on it.
But he knows he doesn't have a big play team, and Jacksonville does. Draw play. Taylor skips 2 tackles. Right, and here we go. Yeah. Bye-bye. Brock Marion chasing. Brock Marion still chasing. Gets help from Smith. Touchdown. No flags. A 90-yard run.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Mike DeRocco, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. You tell them, Freddie T. You were out there murking those so-and-sos every Sunday afternoon, as was Jimmy Smith. And congrats to the pair, Fred Taylor and Jimmy Smith, for making it to the round of 50 for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Fred has made it to the round of 15 a couple of times now. We hope they both advance to there and ultimately get enshrined in Canton, Ohio. All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Tony Smith.
Good morning.
You feel ashamed or happy that you and Dylan are dressed like twins today?
Neither. It's, we both wound up wearing the same cool shirt today.
It is a cool shirt.
Yeah.
Thank you, Al Stewart, for providing those for us here. The sun does never set on Duval County. We said yesterday, on Wednesdays where you and I wear different shirts, that means D-Rock buys breakfast the next day.
Sure.
It also holds true for days you and Dylan wear the same shirt on a Thursday. So, D-Rock, we appreciate you being our benevolent provider today.
Yeah, it's never a good thing when I get a text after the 1 p.m. games, I think, from you, and you're like, oh, doesn't look good.
Well, that was because the 1 p.m. games, I was finally done working. I was like, oh, I'm going to dig right into this. Yeah, D-Rock, you were in big trouble.
And Jaden got hurt, and it was like, oh,
yeah,
the door may have been opened.
Yeah, no, it was a little testy on Monday night, at least for a quarter. But
until the Ravens remembered, hey, we got Derrick Henry.
Right. Well, the first half, I mean, that's what Dylan used to ultimately chase you down was Derrick Henry. So there you go, Pockets. How you feeling this week, Pockets?
I feel good.
Yeah, you feel good?
Yeah, I feel good, man.
Everything
Derrick
good?
Henry, James Conner did good for me Monday, and I feel good so far this
All right.
week.
Everybody's satisfied. Bellies are full. Thanks to Mike DeRocco with that ESPN money. Going deep.
It's terrible that I do this. I'm just so undermanned.
What that you?
It's awful.
Tony posts the scores every week, and so what did somebody say? Something like it's unfair. It's an unfair
because
nobody said that last year about me.
Yeah, Yeah.
D-Rock
he's won the year-long competition before.
I know, and he made sure to point out, oh, by the way.
Darn right I did.
I'm 7-0 in one of those Jaguars Today fantasy leagues. I had to look. There are 2 7-0 teams, and D-Rock is, in fact, one of them across the 3 leagues. So
woohoo!
There you have it. D-Rock, what's going on down with the players back from London? Coming off a win. Wasn't 2. So, they split. They beat a terrible team, but that's the team they played last week. So do you feel like they think, is the energy restored? Are they hoping for some kind of a bounce? I mean, they didn't get one coming off the Colts game. So what do you think this win does for the psyche of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
The enthusiasm is high. Yeah, they're in really good spirits and stuff, and as you would expect coming back. But I think the thing that, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. the week before Trevor goes, we got to stop being such a fragile team, Then they go down 10-0 to the Patriots.
Yeah.
And there probably wasn't anybody in this room that thought, okay, they're going to come back and win this game and double up the Patriots score-wise.
Certainly
thought it was over.
To double it up, right.
Thought it was over. And they come back from the 10-point deficit. And I get it. It's against the Patriots, a rookie quarterback, whatever. But literally everybody else has just shredded this defense, okay? Just shredded it. And all of a sudden, the offense starts moving, and they rally from that 10-point deficit. They get the big kids. They did all the things that they hadn't been doing, even against they did it against the Colts, obviously. But in those other games, they hadn't been doing big plays on offense, defense, special teams. Trevor's hitting deep shots, all this stuff. It was that was, I think, the biggest lift emotionally for this team. Sure, obviously the win, they needed to have it, but them coming back from the deficit, fighting through some adversity, which is something they hadn't really done much all year, if at all. I think that is probably the thing that was the most uplifting for them and the most gives them the most juice going forward. It's like, hey, look, you know what? We can come back from stuff. It doesn't, if we're down, we give up. If that defense gives up an opening drive touchdown like it has pretty much every season or every game this year, hey, it's not necessarily over. Everything's fine. We can come back.
Yeah,
I think that's what is their mindset now.
Different level of competition coming
for
the next
question.
4 to 5 weeks. You could argue that with the top 4 receivers on the Packers, that every single one of them is better than anybody currently playing. I mean, there's some young guys that may have potential for the future for New England, but they're not there right now.
No,
Dontavian Wicks, if you want to call him the 4th receiver for the Packers, might be the best guy that the Patriots could run out there.
Yeah, without question.
Right now. I mean, Hunter Henry's a good player, and but so's Tucker Kraft proving to be for Green Bay, and Jordan Love I would expect more of than I would from Drake May.
Yes.
But
yeah, look, no, it's not an easy.
It is what it is, right?
I mean, but they feel better about where they are mentally than they would have, obviously, if they'd come back 0-2 and they're 1-6 and the season's essentially over. I didn't even get a sense in talking to I didn't even get a sense that the trade of Roy Robertson Harris shook them up a little bit. You know what I mean? In a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even get a sense of that, which I was a little bit surprised by. But I
surprised by the trade or surprised they didn't shake him up?
Yes. Both, to be honest with you.
Shake them up in what regard? None of us is safe kind of thing?
Yeah, something like that. Or whoa, what are they thinking? Was
he an issue? I mean, other than was he dissatisfied? Was he not happy with his playing time or his role or any of that?
Not anything I had heard and liked in the locker room. I mean, not a problem in the locker room. So,
Seattle is trading for a lot of players.
They really are.
He was the team captain last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how the locker room felt about him last year. So
no, I understand, but I mean, I'm just trying to, it's just
trying to figure out why,
right? Why at that time? And they said it was an opportunity came up, and
right.
they are playing 85 defensive tackles here with no seeming rhyme or reason from one week.
Of them, though.
Well, no, he's not, and we'll get to that in a second. But I mean, we see like Jeremiah Ledbetter starts, then he's not at. It changes every week as to who they have any kind of trust in. Osezi started a week ago, then was inactive this week. I don't know. Maybe they just said, hey, we didn't like what we saw in the film that week. But since you mentioned Mason Smith, what do you think is causing Mason Smith to not be active on game day 100% of the time right now?
Yeah, well, it's funny. Yesterday we were waiting to get outside to get into the locker room, and they have what do you call it? Some photos out there on the wall, and they always, they praise the practice squad or look guys of the week, for the week before for helping out. It's, those guys that don't play a lot, they get a little bit of pub for their people,
So they're taking the practice squad guys who give the best simulation on the scout team.
It's not practice squad guys. It's the guys that have helped prepare the team the best the week before.
Okay.
So there have been guys on the active roster that have been on it.
Help prepare them how?
In practice. They run the like for last week, they would have run
okay,
the
so
Patriots
running
offense.
the scout team, basically.
Yeah, essentially,
okay.
yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so that's what a thing that they do.
Right, and
don't know where this is going, Tony. I'm very excited to find out, though.
Mason Smith was one of those guys. And,
okay.
So, I mean, he's, that would seem to indicate that he's at least giving you some sort of effort in practice.
But also, if you're
just
playing scout team, isn't that an indication that you're kind of buried on the depth chart?
Kind of inconsistent in what they're getting out of him. And they're not 100% sure what it is every week.
So is it just him acclimating to the NFL? Is it him learning to be a pro? Is it, does he have any conditioning issues that you're aware of? Are they satisfied with his weight and things like that?
Yes, they're fine with that. Yeah, no.
I'm just curious. I'm asking.
Some guys, it takes a while longer to get into better shape. Or, to get adjusted to the NFL. Some guys, it doesn't take as long and they're ready to go right away. That's a position that, with the problem that they've had interiorly, okay, they are not good on the interior defensive line. So what you need is a guy that can at least be consistent effort-wise and position and being where he's supposed to be and giving you 100% every single rep. And,
so that suggests he wasn't doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Not to a degree where it's like awful.
But a degree awful enough to not be active on game day as a second-round pick.
Yeah, that's not good. But, you hope if you're the Jaguars want to send the message, and if you're the Jags, you hope that, okay, inactive again, bud. This is the second time this year you've been inactive. Let's pick it up. Because, quite honestly, he's as talented as anybody on that defensive line. He athletically, size, speed, he is really, really talented. And they feel like if you go back and you look at his freshman tape at LSU, he was just dominating. And they haven't seen that at a consistent enough level to get him on the field at a position where they're not playing well.
Right.
Is it concerning? A little bit. But does it mean like he was a bust? No, not yet.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm not suggesting that. But, for a lot of people, like, hey, what are we doing here? Like, and I even asked the question because the optics of it are Doug Peterson and Trent Baalke kind of butting heads here. And Trent Baalke, many felt Roy Robertson-Harris is traded to clear the way for more playing time for the guys I just drafted. Now go play those guys. And then Doug Peterson's like, we won't. Not this week anyway. I don't know. That's the optics of it.
Without question. Without question. And that's going to be the optics of it the rest of this season, no matter what happens. Look, it's never a good sign overall when your second-round pick gives you nothing, unless it's, you're a situation where, you took a guy in the second round as a quarterback, and he's not expected to play as a.
All right, or you're loaded at the position, but you think contract-wise by next year,
and you just can't pass up that guy's too good of a value, and we can't pass up him in the second round. But even though we're loaded at say wide receiver or whatever the heck it is, but it's just not been good enough. That's the bottom line. Not been good enough on a team that needs players to emerge, and he's just not been good enough.
All right, here's today's Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. We ask you, recognizing that each of these four Jaguar players have contracts that are up after the season, which one is the most likely to re-sign, stay here in Jacksonville on a new contract after this year is done and their contracts are up? I listed them alphabetically by position and then alphabetically by last name within the position. Because people, I always try to do that. I always try to do that. But Walker Little is the first option because offensive tackle came first alphabetically, and Little comes before Robinson. But we got Walker Little and Cam Robinson, both on the last year of their deals. And so you can vote for either one of those guys. We put Mac Jones in there, honestly, because Cisco was the third easy guy that we went with. And then we're like, well, we got to have one more. And, Mac Jones, and that, he fits in, I think, with the question. But so Mac Jones, Andre Cisco, Cam Robinson, Walker Little. If one of them is going to resign, which one is that you think is most likely to do so? You can hit us up today on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines with your thoughts on that or anything having to do with Jacksonville Jaguars football at 641-1010. Same number for the text line. designed by Lifetime Enclosures, or you can vote in our social media poll on the X or Twitter platform at MD_1010XL. Don't forget at 1010XL Fat Tony, at ESPN DeRocco, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
All right, we are ready to roll. Mike DeRocco is here. Breakfast Bowl a little over an hour away, heading into Week 8. Let's talk Jaguar football with you for the next 2 hours on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Make Friday feel like the weekend.
We're wasting time.
That's why we give you Pre-Game Friday.
Let's do it. Come on.
We'll get you ready for the games. Brought to you by Dream Finders Homes, official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and MyBookie on 1010XL.
Who has the best lineup this season? Honda. Cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, hybrids, and electric. This is one of the greatest lineups Honda has ever had. And now is the best time to purchase or lease one. Visit your local Honda dealer now. Remember, only a Honda is a Honda.
Now, the Florida State Seminole Report, brought to you by your local Ag Pro, your home team.
Florida State redshirt freshman kick returner Samuel Singleton Jr. is the ACC Specialist of the Week after a career day Friday night at Duke. He is FSU's second Specialist of the Week after kicker Ryan Fitzgerald earned the honor against Georgia Tech. Singleton returned 4 kickoffs for 165 yards, including a 95-yard touchdown to open the second half. I'm RJ Saunders with your Ag Pro Seminole Report.
The kickoff to savings event is here at AgPro. Through October 31st, we're offering 0 down and 0% for 84 months on John Deere compact tractors. Get a 1025R tractor with loader for just $279 per month, or a 3025E tractor with loader for only $349 per month. Visit your local AgPro store today. Offer ends October 31st. Limited time offer. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents in 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
You're locked into Jaguars Today Thursday with Cannons of Jacksonville.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O.
If you want high-quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy, Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the Water Boy at waterboyjack.com.
The Florida Forum Speaker Series welcomes former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson October 29th. For your chance to win tickets, text FORUM to the text line covered by Lifetime Flooring at 641-1010.
Cyber threats don't take time outs. Protect your business with DoubleCheck Cybersecurity's AI-powered solutions. Get 24/7 defense and stop hackers before they score. Don't wait. Visit doublecheck.com to schedule your free security consultation today.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
This is Chelsea with Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Here's what people are saying about working with us.
Installers were professional, courteous, and efficient.
Great customer service. On time, explained the process, and walked me through the installation. Amazing team.
Our experience with Renewal by Anderson was outstanding from the beginning to end.
Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com.
License number CGC 1527613.
Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors.
Discover the difference that local expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Visit their showroom at the Avenues and browse high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Are you an experienced plumber or welder with MedGas certification and you're tired of being undervalued? It's time to make the move to Local 234 plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. With the best pay in the business, you'll earn $36.50 an hour. With benefits, that's almost $50. It's not just a job, it's a career that values you. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Hey, David, tell us a little bit about Royal Pest Services.
Well, Chris, I was raised in a middle-class family, and bugs have legs. And these bugs...
Whoa. David, just tell us about Royal Pest Services.
Just go to royalpestservices.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mike DeRocco is powered by Lickety Split AC, Plumbing and Electric on 1010XL.
All right, rumor has it, just in case Jay Smooth is listening, that we may have special Jimmy Smith open for the second hour of the program today. Just throwing that out there. Not trying to play favorites, Jimmy. You're one of our favorites. Fred's one of our favorites. You know, Tony's already in.
We've talked about the Hall of Fame candidacy for both those guys and all the reasons why they ought to wind up in the Hall of Fame. And as I've mentioned before, the only receiver who outgained Jimmy while Jimmy was doing what he was doing for that decade was Marvin Harrison. And it was by something like 100 yards over the course of that time that Jimmy was the other guy that was dominating the National Football League. Yeah, he ought to wind up in the National Football League Hall of Fame. It's tough to get there because they didn't win one more game in 1999.
Right, and, 1 out of 50 to advance to 15 is a different, and the wide receiver room's more crowded generally, or at least at the present time, and I think it will continue to be that way going into the future. And, Freddie's made it to the top 15. And so you get to a certain level and you start to focus on, okay, this is a realistic chance now. He's one of the finalists. And so far, not successful, but we'll keep hoping.
We're rooting.
Yeah. D-Rock, I did read your contribution to the ESPN piece about the trade deadline approaching. Jags currently 11th in cap space. And as you said, they are likely not buyers here. At the deadline. How do you think this team feels in their heart of hearts behind closed doors? I think Doug Peterson and his assistant coaches are going, we gotta get the best we can out of them and see where the chips fall. Do they really think that this team can turn it around?
No, they really the coaching staff and Doug really thinks they can turn this thing around.
What makes you say? I'm not doubting you. I'm just asking, what is your
they did it before, number one, and they believe that they're a talented team, and they believe, and they're right, that a lot of the issues in those losses, with probably the exception of the Bills loss, they just got their butts whacked.
Maybe
in
Chicago.
That loss. Yeah, they just stepped on their own toes. And they made the mistakes, and it's self-inflicted issues and execution. I mean, look, they believe 100% that they have to coach better and that they bear responsibility too. Don't misunderstand.
How does that manifest? So, they always say that we got to coach better, they got to play better, we got to communicate better. What do you do differently as a coach? If you know you have to coach better, why aren't you already coaching better?
Well, I just think that's something that they'll say.
That's what I'm asking.
Right.
Is it just something they say?
Maybe it's more, hey, let's make people pay more attention in meetings. You know what I mean? Be a little bit more emphatic in what you're emphasizing. Here, coaching better. Let's, instead of asking these guys to do 20 things, let's cut it down and ask them to do 12. And let's get much, much better at those 12 things that can still help us, as opposed to having to waste more time, or not waste, spend more time on 8 extra other things. And whatever it may be, whether it's coverage or offensive play, whatever. You know what I mean?
I feel like they may have skipped the coverage part, Tony. They may have already pared it down to we'll leave coverage.
I was going to ask.
We'll get to that next week.
Yeah, what is when you're talking about trimming it down to 12, what is the top defensive thing on that list?
Be in the right spot at the right time. Know where you're supposed to be. But that's a lot of their issues. Being in the coverage area, Ronald Darby's not been good. He's not been good.
Is it because he doesn't know where he's supposed to be?
No, he's just not been good, period. He's just gotten beat a ton. I mean, it's not like, when you play a lot of man coverage, guys are going to win and guys are going to lose. And he's not really won a whole ton. So that's that. A lot the back end safety issues, guys aren't where they're supposed to be. They're getting caught up in like they say, the eye candy, the motions, the whatever, the confused guys flashing across their face. Oh gosh, I can make this play, that kind of thing. So that, but again, and we've talked about this before, if you rep, let's take the opener against the Dolphins, and Cisco's out of spot on the 80-yarder. Okay, Cisco, or it was either Cisco or Antonio Johnson. I can't remember. That's like 6 years ago, by the way, the opener. So you rep it every week in practice, or every day in practice. You rep it multiple times. Okay, and if every time in practice, those guys are where they're supposed to be when this happens. When A happens, they're where they're supposed to be. So A happens in the game, and they're not where they're supposed to be.
Right.
So whose fault is that?
Well, exactly. And McManus has been saying all season that's on the players, right?
Correct.
So, but when you say that we need to coach better, is that just BS that they don't believe? And they're like, because Doug Peterson he said it after the loss to Chicago.
I think when they say that, it's like, look, we got to reach these. Clearly, we're not reaching these players at a level that prevents those kind of things from happening.
But again,
I don't know how
if it happens correctly, almost every time in practice,
right,
and you feel like you're reaching them. I mean, what else can you do? And go, right. Well, they did it right 100 out of 100 times, but I don't know if we're reaching them. What are you supposed to? How are you supposed to know?
Here's the thing. What Doug Peterson can't stand up there and say is, we repped it all week in practice, and he was where he's supposed to be every damn time we repped it in practice. And then we get in the game, and he does something completely out of the blue.
But that's basically what he said.
Yeah.
I mean, he said it without
when he's saying, but what he says is, we got to coach it better.
Right.
Right. So but he can't get up there and say it the way I just said it. He can't say, look, you repped it 25 times in practice, and this idiot was right where he was supposed to be, and now he's not. I don't know what to do. They're not going to say that.
But he can and has been willing to say we're practicing really well. Right? Like, he's been willing to say that over and over and over. Like, he's not saying it that specifically, but he's saying we're practicing really well. He's saying exactly what you're saying.
Which leads us to fill in the blanks.
Not in the way that,
But this week they were willing to say, Antonio Johnson, you're not the strong safety for this football team anymore. Right? Like, we've seen enough of, you're practicing fine, but we get in games, you're not where you're supposed to be. We got to do something about you. Right? So they moved him around. They tried different guys at that spot for this week. We'll see what it looks like when they get Wingard back, and whether he becomes a part of that mix at safety for him, right, for this football team too. But this week was the first week where, despite the fact that this is 5 weeks of them, 6 weeks of them dealing with the same issues week after week, where I don't care how well they're practicing, they're not playing worth a flip, right? When they get them on the field, they finally moved somebody out of a spot where they had been for the first 6 games of the year and said, we got to try something different at this spot. I don't know why it would only be that guy at that spot that would be getting that treatment for this football team to this point, but it's
they don't have a lot of other options.
You got to try the other options.
There will be another one when Foye comes back. I would be very surprised if it's not Foye and Ventrell Miller as the starters.
I don't know
at
how
linebacker.
It couldn't be.
So that's
it wouldn't
the
make
other
any
one.
sense for it not
and
to be.
If they were to ever get Gibson back, would it surprise
you hear
me?
anything on that front, by the way?
No, that's what's unbelievable. My theory is, my thinking is he didn't do something that he was supposed to do.
Must have had to be something.
Missed a deadline on something. You know what? And the league doesn't have to announce that, oh, well, hey, he missed a test or whatever.
This eye,
yeah, or he was supposed to meet with the commissioner and he didn't show up that day. Like, they won't announce anything
and we're not,
like
Mike,
that.
by the way, just to be fair, Mike's not saying that
No,
what happened.
No,
He's trying to
not at
guess
all. Yeah,
something in that realm.
I'm just trying. Yeah, and I'm just, the league is not going to announce anything like, all right, we're extending we're extending his suspension. They're not going to announce that. They're just not going to reinstate him. So I don't know what happened. Hopefully we'll be able to find out soon. But if he were to ever get back and spend a couple of weeks in practice, would it surprise me if Dewey and he started a game? Not at all. Not at all.
So to that degree, so Cisco and Antonio both out.
I thought Cisco played better last week.
Which one? Against
the
New
Patriots?
England?
Yeah, against the Patriots. Look, Doug Peterson said it yesterday, and it was in response to a question about Foye and Ventrell Miller being the two primary linebackers going forward when Foye gets back. And his quote was, look, we want to put our best 11 on the field. And sometimes that's not about being the best player. It's about being where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there at the same time. Or, that's essentially what he said.
Which you can read as a pretty clear indictment of Devon Lloyd.
Correct.
If that's
without question.
Without him coming out and putting a name on it.
You don't have to sit there and dig deep on that.
No.
Because the two primary linebackers when the season started were 33 and Foye.
All right, let's hold that thought. We'll pick it up when we come back here in a minute. And we've got plenty of other ones with Mike DiRocco that we want to run by you. Today's question of the day. Each of these four Jags have contracts that are up after this season. Which one is most likely to re-sign in Jacksonville? Walker Little, Cam Robinson, Mac Jones, or Andre Cisco? You can vote however you feel at MD_1010XL on the X or Twitter platform. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Man, you got some big-time holidays coming up, right? How are you going to do it? You know you've never been able to maintain your weight the proper way. If you're like me, throughout the holidays with Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you don't have to fear any of that stuff. Awaken 180, you can jump in right now. They'll have a plan for you to navigate the holidays. I made it through swimmingly last year, and I was able to eat and enjoy myself, and that's the beauty of Awaken 180. You eat to lose weight. It's not all these medications. There are no injections. There's no crazy exercise regimen, nothing like that. It's really surprisingly simple when you see how their formula works. So give them a call at 844-346-1800 if you'd like to be the next Awaken 180 success story, whether it's 10, 20, 50, 100 or more pounds. Just like Hacker, he's dropped 107. It's 25 for me. Whatever the number you have when you hit your goal weight, free coaching and support for life. So schedule your consultation for free online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle with lifetime warranty, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Best price, best payment, best trade-in value, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. With a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there is always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Jaguars Today Thursday is hitched to Cannons of Jacksonville for all your towing needs.
Arrested? Got traffic tickets? DUI? License problems? Gun charges? Drug charges? If you've been charged with any crime, call me, criminal defense attorney Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. In today's world of retail, how has a store like Underwoods stayed viable against the big national stores?
Frank, that's a question with a direct answer. At Underwoods, we've never aspired to be the biggest. What we've always tried to do is be the best. When you take this approach, there's some things that come to mind immediately, like fine quality merchandise bought by buyers that are experts, high levels of service delivered by a staff that are helpful and know what they're doing. Then there's some things that people don't really think about at all, like the finer a gem, the more rare it is. And these gems are not mass producible because they were made by God millions of years ago. Because of that, there just aren't enough of these for the big multi-store retailers to buy and put into their merchandising schemes. So at Underwoods, we buy these finer, rarer gems and create jewelry pieces that the people in Jacksonville expect out of us.
When you want the best, it's Underwoods. Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, and at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Catching fish and fish stories.
What's going on here? Get him in the boat. Get him in the boat.
On the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show with Captain Kevin Faber. Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Veterans Wholesale Cabinets.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Grab your lucky spot on the couch because traditions make Sunday easy to enjoy. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
Being an athlete means having a healthy desire to do as much as you can with your body for as long as you can. Gatorade has lower sugar, electrolyte-backed hydration options to keep you rehydrated and replenished. Gatorade, for every athlete.
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
Where is the world's fastest elevator? The answer coming up.
Hurricane season is here, and now is the time to ask your agent about your homeowner's coverage. It's time to make the change to Southern Oak Insurance.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The fastest elevator in the world is in the Shanghai Tower in China, traveling 119 floors in less than a minute at about 46 miles an hour.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards scoring courtside seats for your favorite team. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can score courtside seats. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but courtside seats can be astronomical. Maybe if your team plays in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe fourth row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars have now won 2 out of their last 3 games, with wins against the Colts and the Patriots. With 10 games left on the schedule, Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson says time is not out yet.
Anything's possible, but you know, listen, it's a one week at a time mentality, as you know, and it's you just try to go 1-0, try to figure out how to win a game this week. There's a lot of ball ahead of us, and yet I think each week now becomes a little bit more important, you know, for us as a team.
The Jags return home to host the Packers Sunday at 1. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mike DeRocco is powered by Lickety Split AC, Plumbing and Electric on 1010XL.
We were just reveling in the fact that, you know, no matter what else is going on, the Tennessee Titans have quit. on 2024, which is always nice from a Jaguar perspective. Not only DeAndre Hopkins getting dealt, but Ernest Jones, who they picked up this offseason. Did the Rams cut him or do they trade him?
I thought he was cut.
Was he cut and then they signed him?
Yeah.
I think he's played okay.
Yeah.
And then Seattle picked him up. He's going to be the starting middle linebacker, they said, this week. They're going to plug him in. So still a young guy. He's like 25 years old.
Yeah. Shipping away players. Well, I guess I don't know if Hopkins is still
when
in his
you got
prime,
a guy as
but
hot
yeah.
as Ridley is, it's easy to understand why. We looked at the numbers yesterday. I don't know if you heard. Last 4 games worth of production, catches and yards for Ridley. Give me your
Okay, so
your
he
guess.
had like 8 targets and like no catches last week, I think. Or
2 weeks
one
ago.
catch. 2 weeks ago. Last 4 games, I'm going to go 12 catches.
4.
88 yards.
How about 5 for 56? 5 for 56.
Wow. Is it really only 5?
5.
No.
He had 1 catch for like 7 yards. He had 1 catch for like whatever it was. These are full games. Then he had 0. Then he just had 3 for like 40 this week. Big breakout game.
So what's he got for the season? 12 for 88?
He had the one decent game. Like in week 2, he had a decent game. He scored, I want to say maybe 2 touchdowns. Did he run for a touchdown that week? Whatever it was. It was like the only game he's done anything for him this year. And apparently Titan fans are all complaining about how terrible he is and how he drops the ball.
$23 million
Looking at
a
it,
year.
Ernest Jones was traded from the Rams to the Titans.
That's what I thought.
They swapped a 6th and a 5th round pick.
Right, not much, and
Yeah.
maybe they got a little bit more out of the deal, but there you go. Fear that 4th rounder, Jaguars, that the Titans are going to execute somewhere in the future.
Sometimes the best signings are the ones you don't make.
Sometimes they are.
How different would we be in the studio today talking about this franchise
If Ridley had signed
if
here?
they had if the Titans said, you know what, $20 million's too much. They don't draft.
Right.
Brian
And
Thomas.
what if they sat there and took Dallas Turner?
Yeah.
Who went 17th?
Well,
right.
Well, I think it speaks to how bad things are in Tennessee. However you felt about Calvin Ridley last year, he was a 1,000-yard receiver.
Here.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like the verifiable difference between the quarterback that he's playing with in Tennessee and the one he got to play with here, like it's showing
different.
up in all these different areas. They can't throw it to anybody. It's why Hopkins has been completely ineffective this year. They have nothing going on the offensive side of the ball, and so Calvin Ridley's getting punished for it on top of it. But, yeah, they're way better off with Brian Thomas Jr. and the potential of the next 15 years of that guy is crazy.
No question.
At least the Titans get to see what they have in the young Treylon Burks. Oh, wait. He's on injured reserve.
Yeah.
There we
So
go.
sad.
Now it's getting a little
So
bit.
sad.
Now it's
641-1010.
getting a little angry.
On the Garber Auto Mall phone lines. Let's get Leo and Mandarin up here on this Thursday morning. Good morning, Leo.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Listen, it's a good topic today. And to answer your question, and that's a good take, Mike, but I'd like to see Ventrell Miller and Foye on the field at the same time, too. I think most fans do. I hope they can make that happen. But to answer your question, is what I think is interesting, guys. I want to say Walker Little, right? But here's what I want to ask y'all. So Walker Little came in with Travis Etienne, Trevor, and they just paid Trevor all that money, right?
Yes.
And then didn't they give Tyson Campbell a little money? Because he came in on that draft. So here's my thing. Are they going to be able to re-sign Walker Little? And then, listen, Cisco came in on that draft, Etienne, I think Luke Farrell. Now, the only thing I think will help them, I don't know if they re-sign anybody from that terrible 2020 class, right? But, yeah, are they going to be able to re-sign all them guys? I think you just got done talking about. They might be trying to phase Cisco out with Gibson and Dewey if they come back. And then, I don't know about Etienne. I mean, I like him to stay. What I wonder what would Trevor do is restructure his deal to help him stay out if I know that's kind of crazy. Like, no, that's his money. But, I mean, you've seen quarterbacks do that. But are they going to be able to re-sign all them guys? And then you got to turn around and look. Trayvon, if he keeps balling out and gets, like, close to 20 sacks, then you got Devon Lloyd and Muma. Are they going to be able to re-sign? I mean, I like what Balky's doing. He's made one mistake as far as I'm concerned. One horrible mistake. But
which was what? Well, hold on. If it's only one, which one was it?
Well, I don't want to keep beating this dead horse, but okay, you answer me this too before y'all go. So Josh Hines Allen and Jawan Taylor.
Well, hold on, Leo, answer me first.
Leo,
what's the mistake?
I'm telling you right now. Josh Hines Allen and Jawan Taylor came in on the same draft. And they chose to move on from Taylor, and they kept Josh Hines Allen. To me, I would have kept Jawan Taylor, right? And it's weird because they just gave Josh Hines Allen all this money, but it was like at the time we had to re-sign to make a move with Taylor, and I don't understand that. They were drafted at the same time. So that was the mistake he made.
They
but
wanted to re-sign Jawan, and then the Chiefs said, we'll give you $20 million
a year. If the Jags had given Jawan Taylor $20 million a year to play right tackle, people would have burned the stadium to the ground.
They wanted to bring him back. They did. And then once
I wish they would have. And listen, that he was a good player. Listen, but I will give Balky this. I do like his core players. Look, a lot of them are SEC guys, right? Brian Thomas Jr., the running back Tank, Trayvon, a lot of, and I didn't even the best free agent to me, Evan Ingram. He's an Ole Miss Rebel. Even Kirk is Texas A&M. I like what Balky's doing with the core of his guys. Like I said, I would have kept Jawan Taylor. Other than that, I think Walker Little, but I don't know. I don't know, guys. I think he's going to try to keep Walker Little. I would think that's the right move. But what's his name? That quarterback too. You need to keep him too. I think you need to keep Mac Jones. But anyway, I appreciate y'all taking my call.
Appreciate it. By the way, if you claim a guy who, when he played, the team was not in the SEC. Do you get to claim him in the SEC? I don't know if
maybe.
I'm going to say no on that, and whatever.
I think the reason that today's question is as interesting as it is because I feel no pressure to keep any of the four.
No,
right?
Not
because,
at all.
And I don't know that the team feels any pressure to keep any of those four guys next year either. It's why the question is interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if at least one of them are back. Right, for the football team, it's in my mind. I think it's probably more likely to be like a 1-year deal. Let's try it for one more.
But even a 1-year deal.
But that's them returning that guy. But that does feel like that's kind of the position they're in with all those guys. The only one that I don't think they do that with is Cam, because I've been wrong on how they feel about Cam the entire time. It feels like for a decade now about how they feel about giving Cam Robinson long-term deals.
The funny thing to me is everyone who's voting for Walker Little, it's like they're telling you by playing Cam Robinson ahead of him that they don't think he's as good as Cam Robinson. So if they're going to re-sign one of them, what makes you think it'll be Walker Little?
Right.
Cheaper. That might be what they're thinking.
Would he be?
I would probably.
Maybe. All right. Possibly.
Yeah.
Who are the free agent left tackles next year?
Well, I don't. What I think they do is they let both those guys walk. Anton's your left, and then they
would
come
it
and
shock
find.
you if Walker Little got more money though because he's younger from some other team out there who watches the film and says we like this? They don't see him every day in practice. Like at some point you got to say, why hasn't Walker Little beat out Cam? Why didn't he beat out Anton Harrison? Is he not given the opportunity to compete in the offseason? I mean, I assume especially nowadays, the buzzword, there's no depth chart. I know that's a Ryan Nielsen thing, but you know what I mean? Like, was he given a fair opportunity, in your opinion, that if Walker Little clearly was the best option, it wasn't like Cam was a sacred cow that they had to keep ahead of him because they kept re-signing. There were times they could have let Cam walk.
Yeah.
And moved on to Walker Little if they felt like that was a good option for them on the football field, right?
Yeah, without question. Yeah, I mean, look, Walker Little's younger, without question.
Of course.
But if he were good enough to be a starting left tackle that another team would want to spend big money on him, then he would be starting at left tackle for you guys at this point, for the Jags at this point. And they would have, if they felt enough belief in Walker Little, then they would have let Cam go. They would have cut Cam and saved money and just said, Walker, you're our left guard or left tackle.
Right.
But
they could have
didn't
done
do
that
it.
this year.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
But they didn't do it. So there's not a ton of belief that he's the franchise left tackle.
There's no evidence by their actions
Correct.
that they believe that.
Correct.
Now fans can disagree. People can say, they're idiots. I watch, and that's fine. You can have that opinion. Okay.
Right.
But they're the ones with the purse strings. They're the ones who make these decisions, and they're telling you by their actions that they don't think he's as good as Cam, and they didn't trust moving on from Cam to have him be the frontline guy. Now, part of that is you want to have some depth as well, but if you've got a guy that you think is starting caliber and he's on a rookie deal, you'll go find a swing tackle. Right? I don't know how many.
Well, they drafted one, Javon Foster, 4th round. That's what they decided. I mean,
they hope he develops into a swing tackle.
Correct.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like, say Cam doesn't play for 3 weeks with a concussion and Walker Little comes in and he's lighting it up at left tackle. Now there's an interesting scenario there for the Jags, because do you keep Walker Little on the field and essentially it's an audition for him going forward next year to remain here with the Jags? Or, as Doug Peterson said when the question was asked about Tank Bigsby, hey, I'm a big believer you don't lose your starting job to an injury. So when Cam gets cleared and comes back, does he go right back into the starting lineup? That's what I would expect.
That based on their own words.
Based on what they've said, yes. So, but it might make, if Walker lights it up, however long he has to play, that might make it a little bit more interesting.
All right, let's get back to the point you were making prior to the last break about the linebacker situation with Ventrell Miller.
I couldn't remember what the hell we were talking about.
Look, it was at least rattling in the back of my head for the last 5 or 6 minutes, so I didn't forget it entirely. First off, Foye, do you think he is back this week?
I don't know. He seems to think there's a pretty good chance he could play this week. I think what we've seen is a general rule is it's usually they open the window and then they need a week to kind of get back into it, and then it's usually the second week.
Get up to speed, get it in, make sure he's in proper condition to make it through.
See, and honestly, look, that's plantar fasciitis, so he's going to be dealing with some soreness and some stiffness and some pain in there. So he's going to they got to see how that progresses and see, how bad he feels on Friday after practicing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What does it feel like on Saturday? Yeah, or how good he feels. What does it feel like on Saturday? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So you kind of have to gauge that. Same thing with Dewey with the knee. How does his knee respond? Is it some swelling? Does he, can he not run? Is he limping? You got to see how they respond, because no matter the fact that they were working on the side and rehabbing and stuff, it's not the same as being out there and running around in practice.
No, I understand.
It's not. So I would expect, me personally, I think both of them will go next week.
All right, so let's fast forward to next week, right? And nothing else changes. Nobody else is hurt. Everyone's healthy. Ventrell Miller stands out, right? I mean, you see he's very active. He's aggressive, attacking ball carriers, moving downhill. In other words, towards the line of scrimmage, not, tackling guys 9 yards and running them down from behind, that kind of thing. You got to do that sometimes. But look, D-Rock, what's the disconnect with Devon Lloyd? Why seems like he's got a lot of talent.
Sure.
Diverse talent, could be good in a lot of different areas. Never been a good cover guy.
No.
But it seems like it's going beyond that. I mean, it felt like, because when you had the quit comment by Andre Sisco, right? And, he gathered himself. He said, let me think about how to say this. And he said, I saw a lot of quit out there, right? And then the one highlight that was easy to point to for laymen like myself was Cole Kmet running unchecked up the middle, right. And then Devon Lloyd kind of turns around and is like just half-ass jogging after the play, and while Sisco's getting run over on the play. I guess he's presuming Sisco's just going to make the tackle, and no sense in me sprinting there to help. I don't know. Has this been an ongoing thing from what you gather with Devon Lloyd? Just what is it that is the disconnect that's not allowing him to flourish in this defense?
He gets the motion and the shifts and adjustments, the pre-snap stuff that sometimes gets him confused. It distracts him, and then he ends up not being in the right spot when he's supposed to. If he's supposed to, whether it's in run fits or whatever, he's just not getting in the right spot. And when you're out of position as a linebacker against the run, well, that's
against the run or against the tight end.
True. Yeah, I mean,
who's been killing us.
He's just not in the right spot. And that's the bottom line. And that's why Doug Peterson said it yesterday. Hey, it's not always the best 11. We want to get the best 11 on there. It's not always the best guy.
It's not always the most purely talented guy,
yeah, it's
right?
the guy
that's
where it's supposed to be, essentially.
Right. All the talent in the world not going to help you if you're out of position.
Correct. He wasn't calling out Devon Lloyd by name or making any reference to a specific guy. But, the question was about linebackers, and we've watched
specifically about whether Ventrell's going to start over him.
So what I'm going to say is it doesn't take a mental genius to figure out who he was talking about.
Thank God, because we don't have many of those.
Oh, I know. So I think, but here's the deal. That's been an issue with Devon Lloyd since he got here.
Yes, which is kind of where this whole thing is leading. Like, how big of a failure is that to recognize that you trade 3 picks,
traded up to get him in the first round,
to get into the first round, and this is what you get? Like, is this something that should have been diagnosed? I mean, you can't look every front office, by the way. You know, here all you focus on is Trent Baalke, so all his hits or misses are amplified. I get it. And other teams whiff on players all the time.
All the time.
Happens all the time. But if you're going to say, oh, we can't wait for this guy to potentially fall to us in round 2, we got to package up a couple of other picks. We got to come aggressively up the board, make this happen. This guy should be a cornerstone in his 3rd year.
Correct.
A cornerstone of what you're doing out there right now.
Yeah, they're not going to pick up the 5th-year option on him. I would be stunned if they picked up the 5th-year option on him. And look, we might have been in this spot talking about this last year if Ventrell hadn't gotten hurt.
Maybe.
Because Ventrell is essentially a rookie.
Sure.
Same thing as Travis Etienne in year 2. He's essentially a rookie. So we might have been talking about Ventrell as in, boy, they really hit on this kid. Fourth round? Third round for Ventrell?
Yeah, wasn't he?
I thought it was 4th.
I thought it was.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We really hit on this mid-round kid. And, boy, he's better than the first-round guy. We got to get him on the field. He makes plays. He makes a lot of tackles. He's where he's supposed to be. He runs around. He flies around with his head on fire. 4th round.
Yeah, my bad.
So, no big deal.
Even better.
So,
way to go, Baalke.
Yeah. I mean, like, look, you would be like, oh, good. You know, okay, missed on that one. But made up for it.
You could also say missed on Chad Muma.
Absolutely.
Because Ventrell Miller has leapfrogged him as well.
Yes. And that's been the problem. They haven't had guys until this point to sit there and go, okay, Devon Lloyd's not playing real well, and he's not where he's supposed to be.
This guy will be better.
This guy we can put in will be better because the guy that they've had has not been better.
Correct. And sometimes people say, you got to make the switch anyway. And like, sometimes maybe you do reach the end of your rope and you say, all right, we're going to try it, even though we don't think that there's no evidence that this is going to work, but you're just sick of seeing the same thing over and over. But that is the thing. They do see it every single day. And if they thought at any point Walker Little was their best option at left tackle, would have been playing left tackle, even when Cam's healthy, you know? So as a for instance, all right, we got to take a timeout here. Good job, Baalke, getting Ventrell 121st overall last year. For some reason, it stuck in my mind. Maybe it's because Moon was a 3rd-round pick as well. All right, if you want to get in, you know the way to do it. The easiest way, 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines. Tony will take us around the league when we come back. We got the Breakfast Bowl coming up in hour number 2. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Start game day with Insider Insight and football fun.
Sounds like a plan.
It's the Terminix Kickoff Show. Live from Tailgaters Parking.
Let's get back out there.
Brought to you by Gatorade and Clearwater Irrigation.
Okay, it's go time.
On 1010XL.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Hey, gang, Prosser here to save you some cash. Maximize your home sale now with the market experts who deliver more money in less time, and those experts are Chad and Sandy Newman. Maybe you're worried about costly repairs or upgrades needed to sell your home. You don't have to worry. The worries are relieved with Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts we are trusting and recommending with the sale of your home. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Mortgage rates are down. It's time to create your market. Marvin in Cobblestone writes, my siblings and I moved our parents to Maryland so they can get some extra help as they get older. Next, we had to sell the home to get them some financial help for their extra care. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they delivered big. Chad and Sandy's team got our home sold in 7 days above asking price. You can too. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
Jaguars Today Thursday is towed by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe. I want to talk to you about picking the right battles to fight in this life. Every day, we have opportunities to get upset and angry. But I want you to realize that sometimes you have to ignore in this life so that you can soar into the kingdom of heaven. My encouragement, friends, to you is to pick the right battles to fight. Fight only battles that help you draw closer to God, because you have to ignore so that you can soar.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Hey, it's Mike Dempsey, and you know how I feel about Pella windows and doors. Great design, strongest warranties, and the highest quality products. I even chose Pella windows for my own home. And whether you're a homeowner replacing windows or building a new home or a trade professional working with clients, I know the design experts at Pella will help your project run smoothly and look great. Visit PellaJacks.com or the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Find your why with membership at the First Coast YMCA. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Come try free access to your local Y every Wellness Wednesday this month. Check out our fitness classes, swimming, pickleball, youth sports, and so much more for free every Wednesday in October. Plus, we'll waive the join fee when you become a member this month. Get active, be social, live healthier, and discover all the benefits of YMCA membership at your local Y or visit fcymca.org.
The Jaguars are back at Everbank Stadium to go head-to-head with the Green Bay Packers for our crucial catch game. Join us October 27th as we fight cancer through early detection, risk reduction, and awareness all game long. Lock in your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you there.
We could call them helmets and cleats, but they don't wear cleats.
Those shoes are hot.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
From the First Coast Lighting Studios at 1010XL.
Weekdays noon to 2.
You think you could join us?
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers, they take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia. AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care.
Hello, I'm Jerry Holland, Duval County Supervisor of Elections. Do you like lines? And I'm not talking about offensive and defensive lines. I'm talking about the long lines you will be standing in if you wait to vote on Election Day. If you're a Duval County voter, vote early at any of our 24 early voting sites. For more information, go to northfloridavotes.com to learn more. We'll see you at the polls.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. Following Wednesday's practice, FSU head coach Mike Norvell is feeling positive about the team's intensity as they prepare to face rival Miami.
Even up to this point of the year, you still got to go over it and you got to go apply all that you got into this 60 minutes we're going to get.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers have run into a string of bad luck at the wide receiver position with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans both down. Quarterback Baker Mayfield is confident in the remaining group.
I'll be extremely confident in those guys. It's going to look different, but that's okay. It'll be a little bit more creative, and we'll have some fun with it.
The Orlando Magic spoiled the Miami Heat's christening of the Pat Riley Court by getting the win over the Heat to kick off the NBA season. You can hear the Magic take on the Memphis Grizzlies on 10:10 a.m. Saturday evening, starting at 7:30. That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
At 11:01, it's 74 degrees. Time at 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler, Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Second down, 13. The 45 of Baltimore. Brunell back in the pocket. Has a bit of time. Now being chased. Plants throws. He's looking downfield. He's got a receiver. And it is caught. Jimmy Smith at the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. He beats Wayne Starks for 45 yards.
Barks out for signals. Drops to throw. Has time. Fires the slant. Jimmy's got it this time. 35, 30. Middle of the field. 20. He's going to the 20-yard line. He's going to score. 10, 5. Jimmy Smith. Touchdown. And the Jaguars are right back in this ball game. Barks out the signals. Pressure coming. Steps up. Steps. Turns. Throws. He's got Jimmy. First down, 20. There he goes. 10, 5. Touchdown. Win. Jacksonville. Done under pressure. Steps to avoid. Turns and throws. He's got him in. Caught Jimmy inside the 40-yard line to the 37 and down at the 36.
Congratulations to Jimmy Smith. That is now his 800th career reception, and what a play to get it on.
This team winning right now, it helps bring so much attention to our franchise, what we did back in the day, like we were talking about, these Hall of Fame conversations. But when we're winning, we see the conversations pick up. So we have noticed that. So obviously, I'm pulling for my team to get to this Super Bowl.
Mike DeRocco is powered by Lickety Split AC, Plumbing and Electric on 1010XL.
All right, there you go. A little love for Jay Smooth as we go into hour number 2. He and Fred Taylor make the cut to the 50 semifinalists, I guess, for the Pro Football Hall of Fame for the latest go-round. And hoping Jimmy can join Fred getting to the 15, which is the next cut down. I believe it's right. It goes from 50 right to 15.
I believe that's correct.
All right.
Do you think Keenan gives Jimmy a hard time every time they get together that Keenan's one spot ahead of him on the all-time receptions list? It's just one spot.
That's cold.
I don't know. I never thought
Jimmy will line
that.
up right now and go out there and catch you two on Sunday.
Keenan is 29th all-time with 883. Jimmy Smith, 30th all-time with 862. They're right next to each other on that list and should be.
By the way,
Keenan played a little longer, right?
Jimmy changed his profile pic on Twitter to him wearing the teal jacket. Those teal jackets are
sharp.
Unbelievable. Have you seen the lining, the inside lining?
No, that's the one thing I didn't see.
They're all personalized to the player or coach, and it's like a material finish, but it's photos, of their playing days. It's crazy cool. It really is. I
wonder if Baselli's has him dumping
Bruce Smith. It should.
It should. That's
right?
Sure.
I mean, if you're going to talk about one highlight game, I mean, that's the game that announced Tony Baselli to the world, basically,
the football world.
Right. I mean, obviously, you're the number 2 overall pick. You're pretty much announced, to some degree. But you know what I'm saying? That put him on a certain status, certain plateau. And for years, bro, I mean, Bruce Smith did not want to talk about that for years.
Yeah.
We'd bring it up. Tony and I would go to the Super Bowl, and he would be like, Jackson, not doing it. Like, I'm telling you. And then I think he softened a little bit.
Yeah, Bruce being the one that announced it that night that Tony it was so
shocking.
good.
It was, right?
I
think because Bruce is swearing. He doubled me the whole game. No. We watched. All right. Let's take a quick look around the rest of the NFL.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
The Tennessee Titans are trading linebacker Ernest Jones to Seattle for linebacker Jerome Baker and a 4th-round draft pick. Carolina quarterback Andy Dalton sprained his thumb in a car accident he was involved in on Tuesday. He's been ruled out for this week. Carolina has opened the 21-day practice window for wide receiver Adam Thielen. Cleveland has announced that Jameis Winston will start at quarterback this week. Ken Dorsey will take over the play calling there for the Browns. Baltimore corner Marlon Humphrey avoided a major knee injury, but he is reportedly dealing with something that was enough to keep him out of practice on Wednesday, and his status for this week is up in the air for the Ravens. The LA Rams have not listed wide receiver Cooper Kupp with any injury designation heading into their game tonight against Minnesota. Miami quarterback Tua Tagovailoa was limited in practice on Wednesday, and Washington quarterback Jaden Daniels did not practice on Wednesday as he continues to try to get through a rib injury that he suffered on Sunday.
I think D-Rock should probably take a chance on Jaden Daniels. I know he's used him already this year, but it's fine.
It's fine. Let's go right ahead.
It's fine. Let's get Ed in Arlington next up at 641-1010 on the Garber Automall phone lines. Good morning, Ed.
Hey, good morning, Mike, Tony, D-Rock. I got two totally different questions.
Okay.
So the first one being, what do you guys think would be fair compensation for Cisco and Walker if we do re-sign them? And then the second one is there do we know of anything within the NFL of like doing like a VR headset on their helmets in order to prevent these mental errors? You know, so like what you see on tape versus what you see on the field are two very different things.
No, that's a really good question.
They have something like that in the facilities now. It's sort of like a room that has huge wall screens or whatever, so it kind of gives you like
a wraparound projection.
Yeah, and like it projects, plays and video and all that other stuff on the screen as if you're looking at it from X perspective. So they do have something similar to that.
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't help. I mean, you've heard, didn't Kyler Murray say, he tries to learn their offense? I mean, if it is running those plays, there's got to be a little something to
some guys
that
learn,
VR stuff.
Everybody learns differently, and maybe some guys are much more visual learners than hearing it, reading about it, and then going out there and being told what to do and going out there and doing it. Some guys got to see it. So, yeah.
But to Ed's point, I think we will get to a point in the not too distant future. I mean, the way the technology has been advancing that, yeah, you put something on and you're in immersive virtual reality that looks three-dimensional to you. Why wouldn't it be that way? I mean, I would think that's absolutely coming. I've got to believe that there are companies out there trying to develop that or perfect that at this point in time. As to your first question, Walker Little and Andre Cisco, what kind of contracts? If you're going to sign Walker Little here, he's not coming here to be the swing tackle. So, I think Walker Little is going to get paid really good money if he is seen by some team as their walk-in starting left tackle. Mm-hmm. And if the Jags haven't felt that strongly about him to move on from Cam Robinson at any point when Cam was making a whole lot more money than Walker Little, I don't think the Jags are going to be that team that gives him that kind of cash. I don't know what the exact numbers are going to be.
Right. It's hard to tell, yeah.
But you were just saying, D-Rock, that you would not be surprised if Dewey Wingard and Tashawn Gibson are healthy and available at some point together, that they're both starting at safety.
I would not be surprised if that happened. I don't expect them to re-sign Andre Cisco at all.
Right, which that leads to that conclusion.
Right. Yeah, that's not. I would be less surprised if they re-signed Cam than I would if they re-signed Andre Cisco.
So, I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly what the safety
Cisco's
market's going to be.
$3 million this year.
He'll get 10, won't he? I mean,
I am terrible at that kind of stuff.
Right, but it just seems like everybody gets a lot more than you'd expect them to, right? If you look at what Gabe Davis is making, you'd be like, wow, they're paying Gabe Davis that? Yeah, they're paying Gabe Davis that, right? And so, when free agency comes along, all it takes is one suitor, but if you have multiple, if you have two that want a guy, drives the price up, people overspend. Look at the Jags. It's not that they haven't been willing to spend. They always haven't necessarily spent it effectively on the right guys.
Right. So I'm looking at this, and like Amani Hooker, Justin Reed make $10 million a year. Is he worth $10 million a year? Could you? I mean, Jabril Peppers, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, they're in that $9 million range. So, yeah, I mean, maybe.
Maybe not that. Maybe he gets 7 or 8. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
but you don't think it'll be here?
Yeah, no, I would be stunned if it was here.
If you consider that Antonio Johnson has already been benched, right? How big of a need do you anticipate safety being for this football team?
Oh, it'll be up there along with, probably right tackle.
Right. You're presuming Anton will be your left tackle.
I'm presuming Anton's going to move to left. And now maybe they feel like, okay, Javon Foster develops into that, but he's got a ways to go. So
it'd be good to be active on game day.
Like, look,
that'd be a good step in the right direction.
Like, if you ask me to rank their needs now, I mean, safety, interior defensive line, right tackle.
Edge rusher?
Yeah, absolutely. That's always, you can never have too many of those guys. So, yeah, I mean, some
they felt
mix
like
of
they
that.
had plenty.
Well, apparently.
I
don't know what you say. I don't know.
It's the Joe Gaziano show around these parts. So
Joe Gaziano in position, had a chance to make a sack. Unfortunately, did not make the sack.
Did not make the sack. All right. Hey, Josh Hines-Allen hasn't made a lot of sacks this year either.
No, he has not.
So hopefully that'll pick up this week against Jordan
He's playing
Love.
good football, though. He's just not.
Oh, I know. I hear
yeah.
It's not all about sacks. But when you are a guy coming off a 17.5 sack season and you get paid $30 million a year, part of it's about sacks. I mean,
no question.
You can talk about all the analytics you want and the pressure rate and all this stuff. Bottom line, pressure rate doesn't force the ball out of the quarterback's hands. In terms of creating turnovers. It can't. Right. If you speed up a throw, you know what I'm saying. Yes. A hit to the quarterback with the ball in his hands is a lot more likely to lead to a turnover.
It did in what game was that? Chicago?
Yes.
What game was it? They kicked. Oh, Indy. Was it Indy? Trayvon had the sack. They kicked the field goal right before half. Josh picked it up.
Yeah, Josh picked it up. It was Indy.
It was Indy.
It was Indy.
Which again, 6 years ago. I mean, dude, this season feels like it's been 50 years
that was
old.
2 weeks. Two and a half.
No, it was not
weeks.
that soon.
Yes, absolutely. All right, we'll go drafting next. It's breakfast bowl time. Our bellies are full thanks to Mike DeRocco's
yummy
largesse. We appreciate you very much, D-Rock. That's straight ahead, 641-1010. If you want to get in before we're all wrapped up today, your Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day continues to linger out there on social media, asking you today simply, out of these 4 guys whose contracts are up at the end of the season, which one is the most likely to re-sign in Jacksonville? Is it Walker Little? Is it Cam Robinson? Is it Mac Jones? Or is it Andre Cisco? You can vote at MD_1010XL on the X platform. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Playoff teams limit their weaknesses. Offense, defense, and special teams all contribute.
All 3 phases come into play.
Listen for the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Sometimes special teams can be fun.
On 1010XL.
Imagine driving a late model Corvette, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, Honda, Chevy, Ford, and more, all at a fraction of the original sticker price. Visit Vaughn Motor Group's indoor showroom and browse a great selection of dream cars that are inspected with warranties. Before you make your next auto purchase, check out Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard or at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Hello, I'm Malcolm Anthony. I've been practicing criminal defense law for over 40 years. It's what I love to do, it's what I do well. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. 285-4LAW for Malcolm Anthony.
Jaguars Today, Thursday.
Brought to you by Cannons of Jacksonville.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Start your week with a Hall of Fame breakfast.
Well, I'm hungry. How about you?
Join Dan Hicken, Jeff Prosser, and Jags Hall of Famer Tony Bazzelli for tons of football talk. Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida. Monday mornings at 7:20 on 1010XL.
What if you could be debt-free by this January? Get rid of all that high-interest debt, pay off all your credit cards, consolidate everything into one lower payment. Hey, it's Prosper here, and if you're ready to stop stressing over bills, you need to call Loan Pronto right now. With rates at their lowest in 2 years, this is the perfect chance to use your home's equity and save big going into the new year. Loan Pronto's got rates with APRs in the low 5s, and they're getting homeowners hundreds of thousands out of their home's equity. Homeowners who do this save on average $850 a month. Loan Pronto offers a ton of options, including total refis, express equity lines of credit. So call now, get a rate quote in just minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call today. You won't make a house payment till 2025. 904-999-1508. That's loanpronto.com or 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
RJ Saunders here, sports lovers. I recently took a tip from Frank Frangie when I needed to send flowers to my mother. Frank told me that Kuhn Flowers is the only florist he ever uses. So that's what I do now. I use Kuhn Flowers. Find them online at kuhnflowers.com.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with great sports for kids 3 to 17, and winter and spring registration is open right now. New girls volleyball and flag at Duval Charter, plus plenty for boys and girls in Nocatee, too. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Hacker here, and guys, the countdown is over. I didn't just hit the 100-pound mark. I blew past it thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. 107 pounds gone just like that. More weight than a quarter keg of beer. Speaking of beer, here's where it gets fun. We're throwing a big celebration at Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra Beach. Yeah, you heard that right. A weight loss party at Mr. Chubby's. The irony's juicier than their wings, but here's the thing. I can celebrate at Mr. Chubby's and still keep the pounds off. If you didn't know, yes, wings are still on the menu while losing weight with Awaken 180 weight loss. Join me in 1010XL on November 9th for the Florida and Texas game, and you could win a spot at my table. Food is included. There'll be ticket giveaways and more for the celebration. If I can shed a whole Mr. Chubby and still throw a party at one, what's holding you back? Call Awaken 180, 844-346-1800, or hit up awaken180weightloss.com, and let's get it done.
Welcome to ABS Advanced Business Solutions, your local authorized technology partner and home to Xerox copiers.
Advanced Business Solutions.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and beautiful people all across the world. Let's get ready for the Breakfast Bowl Challenge! told you.
Mike DeRocco is powered by Lickety Split AC, Plumbing and Electric on 1010XL.
All right. It's time for the highlight of the week, the Breakfast Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. And first, the shocking controversy. Tony Smith got found out. Of course, he found himself out.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Tony's one of the most honest people I know, but I like to give everyone grief. So just allow this, all right? Tony Smith, dirty, rotten cheater that he was, tried to sneak Chris Godwin past the goalie last week. And what happened, Tone?
I was putting the sheet together for this week, and I noticed you and I had a different number of players we had used.
Yeah,
and I was like,
you're the keeper of the list.
I was like, this isn't right. Like, I shouldn't have one less player. What happened here? And so I went through the previous weeks, and I was like, oh, there's Godwin. I can't even remember what week it was.
Most honest guy.
But I'd already used him, and I was like, all right, there goes Godwin's point this week, and took it off there. And so I had won the week by a very slim margin.
Like less than a point?
Yeah, it was 104.85 or 104.45, something stupid. It was really close, but I was like, all right. Take the points off, so I'm actually second. Dempsey won the week, 104.4.
Good week.
That's a big
bounce
week.
back.
Yeah, I had 91.35 after my idiocy, and then Dylan with 81.2 third, and D-Rock buying breakfast for the third time in 7 weeks with 60.
D-Rock
Shout out last year. Yeah, bad week.
Really bad. Dylan got on Derrick Henry's back in the second half. And
we had to talk a half.
Rode on past it, did you? Did you give him a little pep?
Yeah, I said,
talk?
hey, I need 80 yards here.
All right, so,
82.
Tony, the overall standings. I see for some reason Tony's total is highlighted.
I already went back and fixed it in the thing this morning. I saw it when it got printed. I was like, what? No, I've already fixed it on the sheet. So it's...
All right, I'm up by 1.6.
Yeah.
For the whole year right now.
It's actually really pretty close.
It is actually very close. 583 to 581, rounding it off here to 548 for D-Rock, 538 for Dylan Pockets Denmark. So, draft order, D-Rock, Dylan, Tony, myself, taking a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and a flex, point per reception scoring for the fantasy nerds out there. Many of you are, and so are we. And you can only use each player one time all year. And if someone drafts that player this week, no one else can draft him this week. You speak the name, you're locked in. So, D-Rock, speak the name.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon. Definitely on my list, right? Big target of opportunity because he crushed it against the Colts in week one. He just killed it against his very team. All right, Dylan Denmark. Dylan said he was going to take somebody that D-Rock had already selected. I have my guess. Who will that be?
Ooh, I got his teammate, Stephon Diggs.
Oh, Stephon Diggs. All right.
I hope he...
Not my guess.
Produces for you as well as he produced for me last week.
Well, let's get another C.J. Stroud double-digit passing game. That was nice. Tony.
I will go A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown. Okay, also on the list this week, but going in a different direction than you guys here. I'm going to take Bo Nix, a quarterback. It's Carolina. And I'm going to fire up J.K. Dobbins versus that horrific Saints run defense, and I know a couple of you had used him, but I was not going to take the chance that I would miss out.
Wait, sure. Okay, never mind.
What?
I thought Tony picked back-to-back. That was Mike.
No, that would be me.
Yeah,
that would be me. Yep. Tony Smith is on the clock now, though.
I am indeed. I will take Breece Hall.
Breece. Yeah, if I hadn't used him, man, that was the number one pick of the week right there, and shame on Dylan and D-Rock for not recognizing that. Dylan.
Bijan Robinson. No mustard.
Bijan's Mustardson. One day I'll get a jar of that. That'll be that. Maybe that will go in the. We'll get 2 jars. One will go to the Breakfast Bowl champ, and the other will go in the Super Bowl swag bag. How about that?
Love it.
Hopefully it won't be expired. D-Rock, you got Joe Mixon. Who else?
I do. I'm going to go with Malik Neighbors.
Okay. Pittsburgh, solid defense there. That's fine.
Feed him.
Okay.
That's the only guy they throw to now. It's ridiculous.
And Wandale.
Wandale gets decent target share. But anyway.
Wait, didn't he gets Wandale? You said Wandale.
You haven't made your second pick.
He's not on the clock. You haven't made your pick.
Sucker.
Damn it.
Sucker.
Wandale wouldn't be the worst guy to take.
No.
Now that we're all saying his name, Wandale. I'm not on the clock. Wandale.
David Njoku.
Dang it. Did want him. All right, fine. Dylan Denmark. Wait a minute. He doesn't play for Green Bay.
No, he doesn't. How about that?
How about that?
Upset of the week.
How about that?
Didn't take Kraft singles there. Dylan.
I will go. Give me Cade Otton, tight end.
Not bad.
That's a good.
I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing.
You see it.
I see it. I see
Can't
it.
you see?
Tony Smith. Don't do it.
Well, I'm not doing that.
I don't know. I feel like you're gonna do.
Don't do it. I don't know what
Don't
you're
do
talking
it.
I will go
Anybody.
Kareem Hunt.
Like that.
Limited practice yesterday. All right. Let's see. I'm going to save that one. I'm going to go. Really doesn't matter here, I don't think, what order I go in. Nice. I'll say, it doesn't really matter. Give me Rashad White in the flex. And give me.
Do it.
Trey McBride.
Oh. You wouldn't do it.
Tight end.
You said you might do it.
Look, I got a 4 tight end list, and I took the second one. And Njoku was the first one on my list. I didn't get down to number 4. Number 4 might play for Green Bay. I'm just saying. I didn't want to get boxed in. All right, Dylan. Or Tony, I'm sorry. Back to you, Tone.
Kirk Cousins.
Cousins. What did you do against Tampa last time?
I don't know.
Threw for 509 yards is what he did. Dylan Denmark, quarterback or a flex?
Flex. I like the running back from Denver, Mr. Williams.
Yeah, if I didn't get Bo Nix, I was definitely going to try to get Javonte this week.
Yeah.
Great matchup versus Carolina. D-Rock.
Jahmyr Gibbs in the flex.
Sure you don't want Jameson Williams?
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
Bonus Jameson Williams will give you this week.
Okay, sure. Thank you. For the next 2 weeks? Can I have for the next 2
Yes,
weeks?
you can.
And Jordan Love, come on down.
Oh, they did it. Dirty.
He did it.
I can't believe you.
Worst pass defense in the league. Of course, I'm taking that kid.
Wow. All right. Not that surprised. Dylan, need a quarterback.
Because he was going to take Love, but now he's gone.
Was
so,
he? I don't know. I don't think he was. I think Dylan's not going to wear that sun never sets in Duval County shirt and draft Jordan Love.
Let me go Caleb Williams. I like the Williamses this week.
Okay. Tony needs a tight end.
Zach Ertz.
That's not how you pronounce Tucker Kraft. All right. And I will take Drake London at wide receiver. All right, here's what we have. D-Rock selecting in pole position goes Jordan freaking Love, Joe Mixon.
Can't believe you took a quarterback against it. Like, of all the rotten things to do, it's
Right?
not like we all don't know the matchup is great for whoever the Jags are
Are you
playing.
in this to win
I'm not
this or
benching
not?
him in the Jaguars Today leagues, in the season-long leagues where I have him, but for goodness sake.
Oh, stop.
All right, Love,
Bunch of
Mixon,
babies.
Neighbors, Njoku, Gibbs. That's your squad. Dylan goes with Caleb Williams, Bijan, Stephon Diggs, Cade Otton, Javonte Williams. Tony's got Kirk Cousins, Breece Hall, A.J. Brown, Zach Ertz, and Kareem. I'm questionable Hunt. And I will go with Bo Nix. That's right, Bo Nix. J.K. Dobbins, Drake London, Trey McBride, and Rashad White. The Breakfast Bowl is locked in. Bad luck, gentlemen. D-Rock, you out of here?
Yeah, got to get there for Press Taylor and...
Who's your vote? Each of these 4 Jaguar players have contracts that are up. Which one's most likely to re-sign? Walker Little, Cam Robinson, Mac Jones, Andre Sisco.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones it is. We will discuss it more length on the other side. Anything that you'd like to promote coming up at ESPN.com?
I got a Trevor story running on Saturday about the resurgence and how well he's played the last 3 weeks, and can it continue?
You want in on my New York Yankees text chain? And there goes Mike DeRocco, ladies and gentlemen. That will do it for this Thursday on Jaguars Today. D-Rock, we love you, brother, and we will see you next week. All the best to you until that point in time. Salute, sir. He's out the door. Thank you for breakfast. We'll come back with a final segment here, and we'll take a look at today's Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day, how you voted in the poll, how we feel about these options as well. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
When it comes to selling your home, it can be stressful. Take the stress out with my friends, Chad and Sandy Newman. Maybe you're worried you won't sell your home for the price you need. How's this for a guarantee? Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Mortgage rates are down, creating more active buyers and sellers, and if you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home. Take Kim in Palm Coast. I needed to move closer to family ASAP, but I had to sell my Palm Coast home first. I tried and failed with another agent. So my family said, you got to call Chad and Sandy. Well, sure enough, as promised, Chad and Sandy did it. They sold my home in 3 days, above asking price. Call the local Jacksonville experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy today at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
In its final year, we encourage you to help create great futures for young people when you run or walk at Mackenzie's Run, Saturday, November 23rd. Join Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Florida for a 5K and 1 mile fun run through the beautiful stadium course at TPC Sawgrass. Enjoy food, live music, face painting, family fun, and more at our Runners Village. Register at MacKenziesRun.org. Mackenzie's 5K and Fun Run, November 23rd. MacKenziesRun.org.
You're locked in to Jaguars Today Thursday with
Cannons of Jacksonville.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofingfl.com.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
A different path means a new hope for Miami football this season.
Find out what you need to know about the Canes on the Performance Painting Hurricane Report.
Keep an eye on the Canes as they strike back on 1010XL. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
When you need a plumber,
call Duck Duck Rooter.
When you need your septic tank pumped out,
call Duck Duck Rooter.
When you need any septic or plumbing issue fixed right the first time,
call Duck Duck Rooter.
Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services. DuckDuckRooter.com.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Bank in the 2024 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards, and it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Go with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
How would Trevor Lawrence evaluate his play the last few weeks?
I definitely feel like I've played better. Talking about from an individual perspective, I think I've played better the last few weeks. Our plans the last couple weeks have been really good in starting the games, and I feel like we've started pretty quick the last few weeks, which has been good for us. Something that we really wanted to improve on after the first few games where we started slow. So I've been playing better. I feel like I've been seeing it great. I feel like I've been pretty accurate the last few weeks. Corrected a couple things, and I also feel like as an offense we're kind of settling in, and it's just been going a little bit smoother. So it's been good.
Trevor and the Jags host the Packers Sunday at 1. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, coming down the stretch here. Again, congrats to Jimmy Smith and Fred Taylor for making it to the 50 and hopefully beyond that. Somebody asked, hey, can we get Jimmy Smith on Jaguars Today? Why don't we reach out to Jimmy and maybe he'll want to hop on with his old teammate Tom McManus tomorrow. We'll see about that. You get Fred every single week here on 1010XL. Not that we wouldn't always welcome Fred on the program as well. All these great Jags have a home here on Jaguars Today.
Yeah.
But today, Tony, we're looking with an eye towards the future and what the Jags might do in the offseason. So, Dylan, if you'd be so kind.
10-10 Take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 Take. Brought to you by
Double-checked. Cybersecurity made simple.
There's definitely two schools on Walker Little, right? Like, there's the one camp that says, oh, Walker Little is, he's a starting caliber tackle. And the starting point in negotiations, he wasn't making that Cam Robinson money. Like, Cam, you would think if he were to re-sign here and just playing the hypothetical game, would want more than he's had in the past, right? That's kind of the nature of how it goes. You get more and more and more in your future contracts. And that, they feel like Walker Little's going to be a less expensive option. He's younger and maybe even better in their eyes, right? There's the other camp that feels like, Walker Little feels like he's been jerked around, has never been able to settle. He's been asked to play guard. He's played right tackle. He's played left tackle. And that may be true. And I'm not denying that he's going to look for the best opportunity for a team to invest in him. If the Jags were to be that team, I think it'd be crazy to rule them out for a number of reasons, Tone. Familiarity, for one thing. Living in Florida with no state income tax is another good one if they're comparable. But again, it goes back to if they felt like he was that guy, why has he never seized that spot in their mind? They've never felt that Walker Little beat out one of these other players to the point where they not hand him the job, but felt like he took that job from somebody. So I have a tough time voting for Walker Little in this poll today.
I wouldn't vote for Walker Little in this poll today. And I think that process of him not having been made the starting left tackle to this point at any time speaks to how the team feels about him. And I think because that's the way the team has felt and spoken to him about this situation as the left tackle of this football team. I think when he gets a chance to leave, he's going to leave. That's just the way the whole situation feels to me. When he gets a chance to get out of here, he's going to get out of here. And I think there will be teams that will be willing to pay him like a left tackle and make him the left tackle. I think there are going to be a handful of teams that are willing to do that. I was trying to find a list that showed me who the free agents at left tackle might be next year. I could see Tyron Smith and Ronnie Stanley would be the two guys that would be at the top of that list.
They're kind of like stopgaps at this point.
Right.
They're not long-term answers.
But I wouldn't be surprised that by the time we get down to it, that Cam Robinson and Walker Little are top 5 options at left tackle in free agency across the entire league.
Now, and as well, because, D-Rock says it, Jeff Lageman says it, and many say it, if they really, in their mind, are just going to flip Anton Harrison to that side, because usually right tackle is seen as an easier spot to fill and a less expensive spot to fill. That's not always the case. As we saw, Jawan Taylor got 20. Of course, at first they said he's going to play left tackle for the Chiefs. And after about 2 days, they said, nah, he's going to play right tackle. We're going to leave him there. Yeah. So that's another factor in this whole thing.
Absolutely. And I think you look at it between those two guys, Walker Little and Cam Robinson specifically, if I do think they're 2 of the 5, 6 best options at left tackle in free agency this year, and the Jags are going to sign one of them, it's Cam. Right? Because that's been the guy they've been willing to commit to for a long time now. Like, if they were only going to bring one of those two guys back, I think it would wind up being Cam Robinson. I don't think there is much interest from the team at this point to bring back Andre Sisco at all for the football team. So the debate in my mind is, how likely are they to bring back Cam Robinson as the left tackle as opposed to flipping Anton to that side? Because we know Cam just won't play right tackle. For whatever reason, he just won't do it. Like they haven't tried it. For whatever myriad of reasons, that's just not the direction that's going to go. If they bring Cam back, he's the left tackle for the football team at this point. You keep Anton on the right. I do think long-term, Anton's a better prospect as a left tackle. So I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes the plan. For the Jags going into next year, Anton's the left tackle. We'll figure out what we're going to do.
And they have 3 more years of team control with his contract.
At right tackle. And with all that being said, I think the most likely for them to bring back is Mac Jones, because I haven't seen anything that would indicate anyone's willing to give him a chance to be a starter anywhere else outside of Jacksonville right now. It's not that I think that's likely in the scheme of things.
It's the most likely.
But he is the most likely, I think, to come.
I think I agree with you on process of elimination here. And look, none of them may be back. Or maybe a couple of them are back, and we just don't know what the hell we're talking about, which is
could be
always possible as well. Yeah. You can't. And when I say that, I would like to think that there are informed Jaguar fans that think that, one way, and you can't always know what the front office is thinking, right? And there are people, you can follow along with everything and every word that's spoken, and that doesn't necessarily take you inside the most important of meetings and inside that thought process. If Mac Jones gets a chance, like to go to a Vegas type situation where they say, all right, it's open,
changes
you come in here, you're not going to get the starting job, but you're going to get a chance to take the starting job. Why wouldn't you take that? You're still young.
Yeah.
You're a competitor. You want to play, man. He's not at the stage of his career. I will, for the 8 billionth time, give you the anecdote with Shane Matthews and Frank Frangie. Shane had been in the league for like 13 years, into his 30s, and he signed with the Dolphins. This was at the tail end of his career. And Frank Frangie said, hey, man, I looked at the depth chart. You got a chance to play. And Shane Matthews said, I hope not. Like I'm going here to hold a clipboard and add a couple of years, add some money to my pension here, and that's a great life. Mac Jones is not a 30-something NFL quarterback. No. I'm sure Mac Jones wants to play, but absent of that opportunity, I could absolutely see, because I think he's been, from everything we see, he's been a good fit, a good soldier, so to speak, right? He understands. He was brought in here not at all to challenge the hierarchy, but to support the hierarchy the way it was. And I think he's done that. And I'm with you. Like the 2 glimpses we've had, he hasn't done anything where you're like, oh, man, like that's jumping out,
It's Gardner Minshew got to go to Philadelphia after he left here. The Jags traded him up there, and he didn't get to play till Jalen got hurt. But when Jalen got hurt, he played fine, and that turned into an opportunity to go to Indianapolis and have a team that was a play away from the playoffs last year. Like Gardner was the quarterback for that team that was a play away,
but he wasn't. He didn't go as the starter.
No, he went up there. They drafted Anthony Richardson, and then he got hurt.
And Mac Jones might find a backup role somewhere comparable to that.
But it feels he's got to be somewhere where he's going to get the opportunity to play at some point because something happened in front of him. That's what it feels like for him right now. I hope it certainly doesn't happen in 2024 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't want Trevor Lawrence to miss a snap of any significance for this football team for the rest of this season. That's kind of what it took for Gardner. It's not like Mac has played all that much less than Gardner did, right? The year that he was here. And the starting quarterback for a year and a half, basically for the team. Everyone had tape on Gardner and who he was, and then he played okay when he got to Philadelphia, had another opportunity. Played okay when he was with the Colts, and he's playing okay with the Raiders when he's on the field. He's not the reason they're not winning. It's not because Gardner Minshew's the quarterback. They got a lot of problems on that roster with the Las Vegas Raiders, and so Mac, I don't know how many opportunities like that are even going to be open, realistically across the league, but it would take that kind of thing. And if that kind of thing doesn't open up and he says, I'll come back for a year or two as the backup in Jacksonville, I wouldn't be surprised if that's where that winds up landing.
Right, and we're just trying to play the probabilities here, right? I mean, and I'm not saying Mac, he's a backup guy. These other guys have played more football for this team and impacted this team over their tenure here more than Mac Jones has.
Yeah.
58% going with Walker Little in the poll. And so, obviously, we discussed that. 26% saying Cisco is the most likely. 9% says Mac Jones will be the most likely guy to re-sign here. 7% go with Cam Robinson. Here's my question for you, okay, because a couple of people have brought this up. What if you look at the landscape and you're like, we're not in position necessarily, like maybe we love one or two tackles in the draft, but the Jags end up with a pick where they're like, barring a move up the board, we're not likely to get one of those guys. Could you see them maybe just saying for 1 year, we'll franchise tag. We're not going to let you walk for nothing. If Walker Little's going to be a coveted commodity, like you said, maybe he ends up as a top 5 option at left tackle. When you factor in the age, the ability, everything, is it impossible to see a world where they say, all right, for 1 year, we're just going to stopgap it here, no real intention to sign him long-term, even though the rules of the franchise tag are supposed to be so you can sign the guy to a long-term deal, but whatever. And then if somebody wants to come along and say, hey, we'll give you something for Walker Little, you don't have to sit there and say, we get the 2 first-round picks that the franchise tag rules say. You can negotiate that price, and then maybe you apply the franchise tag and say, hey, we'll deal him for a 3rd-round pick. You let it be known, Tone. That way you get something for him, rather than just letting him walk out the door. Do you think that's at least in the realm of possibility?
Possibly. I think it's a slim possibility. Looking at the numbers next year, the franchise tag, because it's all the offensive line, you don't get to obviously determine position. So it's all the left tackle. That's basically what you're looking at. 25.2. The transition tag is 22.9. That's steep.
It is, but, I mean, it can be steep if you bring in a rookie to play one of your tackle spots and you get your quarterback killed, I mean, so I don't know. I don't know if that's completely off the board.
That feels like one of those where if they were going to do that, they would franchise tag Cam.
Maybe.
I just think that's the direction that would wind up going is they would franchise tag Cam for 1 more year as the left tackle.
How many times have they tagged him, though?
Twice.
Yeah, they're not doing it a 3rd time because then the bump is astronomical at that point in time. So I don't.
Did they transition him?
I don't know if you could. I don't know what the rules are. Right, if you'd use 3 different tags, I still think he'd be in line for an obscene amount of money, and he is older, And so anyway, that's the way that poll went or is going so far today. If you haven't cast your ballot, you can at MD_1010XL. Let's welcome in Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
All right, Joe C., hello.
What is up?
We don't get to see you very often, so it's very nice to see you following a Jaguar victory, a rare Jaguar victory. We were just talking about, Joe, today. Of these guys with expiring contracts, who's the most likely to come back on another deal, short-term, long-term, whatever? Walker Little, Cam Robinson. Andre Sisco, Mac Jones. Tony and I both think it's Mac Jones.
That's funny. You're probably not wrong. I think Mac represents value, so I actually think that he might be one that's on the move if they were to.
But that's the thing. If he doesn't get that opportunity, let's say this. If every job being offered to him is a clear backup job, why not stay in your hometown in a place where you're already, in the offense and in the environment and all that, and then maybe, who knows how it goes? Maybe you play a little bit and you get a chance to get back in it next year.
Put it to you this way. He's appeared in 2 of the first 6 ball games. I never thought that would be the case, and both of them were not mop-up duty. That's where things were going there for a while.
It was mop-up duty, but in the wrong direction.
In the worst possible way. But anyway, just in terms of value, Walker Little represents the most value coming back.
Depends on what his contract expectations are, because like Tony said, that the guys right now that are slated to be unrestricted free agents are aging veterans. I mean, he's going to be maybe the youngest prospect who's got any kind of starting experience under his belt.
Yeah, and Leon has chimed in on this on our show. When we look at it a couple different ways, I look at it very simply. He had a chance to beat out Cam. He did not beat out Cam.
Right.
Cam was the pricier guy, so maybe that's the direction they went in. But the other part of it is they've just kind of screwed him a little bit.
Well, that's the feeling, is that does he want to be back here after he's been bounced around? Well, hey, here's the way to not be bounced around. Go win the job.
Yeah.
Go take that job from somebody. Yeah. All right, what's coming up today?
We'll definitely dive in. You're trying to look at opportunities, and a lot of people have talked about this 5-game stretch. What can they do? A 2-3 record would do them in. Obviously, worse would be worse. 3-2, you've got some chances. So anyway, we'll jump in on that. We've got all these other college football games that we're looking at. Last night, Liberty goes down. So that was one of the group of 5 teams that we were, Yeah,
it hurt my heart.
So we'll definitely dig in on the big games coming up on Saturday.
All right, Joe. Have a great show.
All right, fellas.
There you go. XL Primetime coming your way for the next couple of hours, and on we go into the afternoon. Thanks to Mike DeRocco for joining us today. Thanks to all of you for listening. For Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Tom McManus joins us in studio for a Keys to Victory Friday tomorrow on Jaguars Today here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows